Hold on. Okay, we're back.
Oh, we are back. Welcome to another exciting episode of Twitching UpStream. Luckily, Dylan got us right in under the wire. There was a bomb that was going to go off if we didn't stream quickly, which is my fault, really. I was doing some stupid research on scars, and now I'm wasting time. Here we are, our Tuesday show, Twitching UpStream. Awesome show. It's one of mine and Dylan's favorite shows that we do. It's one of the current shows that we do. Because if you don't know, Real Boys is done, so we're over that. But if you know us, then you know the success that we have obtained in our Audible adventures here. We have created such great things as Silicon Angels, a podcast show, create your own podventure. That's one of the coolest things ever. That's actually cooler than anybody. That's cooler than anybody's podcast ever, and that includes Michael Colby, Joe Rogan, and even Tall John Shear. Our shows are better than all of their shows. Anyway,
I don't know who John Shear is. Paul Shear?
It's Paul Shear, but it's a reference if you actually know who, if you listen to their shows. He gets a lot of comments of people saying, like, we like everybody except John Shear. And then, like, somebody started calling him Tall John. And so that's whatever. So this show, Twitching UpStream, what we do here is we take one of our ideas that we've already thought up and probably pitch it to somebody with a very odd response. And we take that idea and we just work on it. And we hone it in and try to turn it into something that we probably could create once we have budget and a following or something, whatever.
What are you going to do?
Now, Talking UpStream, if you want to know more about that, because you'll see one of the episodes in the show notes here is a show where Dylan and I, we interview creators of movies, podcasts, literally anything. If you've created something, we just want to talk to you. We interview you, and then we pitch you an idea, and then together we work on that idea. And then we wanted to put an offshoot show over here to keep working on stuff and just because we like talking to people. So if you want to talk to us, throw it in the comments.
Yeah,
literally
talk to us.
Put it in all caps.
Whatever you want.
Shout it out digitally if you can. Throw it in emojis and let us try to figure it out. Either way, we would love to connect with you. So please, at any time, send us a comment, text Dylan, email us, whatever you want to do. No big deal. We would love to chat with you. Did you get rid of that? That's funny.
What?
I thought, okay, good. There it is.
Never.
Also, actually, never text Dylan. So before we get working on the concept we've been doing for the last 4 weeks, which was DEADBEAT, I always have something stupid and weird to chat with Dylan about beforehand as he looks over his shoulder for some reason.
I've got a bomb tied up. I want to make sure it's not getting out.
You're tying up a bomb.
Yeah.
And you do not want the bomb to escape.
Right.
Okay. It makes me think it's on something alive, but that's fair. Now that shows are coming back and movies are coming back, there's actually some new nerd news to talk about. For a while, things were just done.
Yeah.
COVID was crushing people, including my own spirits. But things are in a state where they don't care about us anymore. Go to the movies. Yeah. So or sit at home and stream. One of the things I want to talk to you about, Dylan, is the new Moon Knight trailer, which dropped last night during a full moon, I might add. And I don't know if I don't know how much you know about Moon Knight as a character, but that trailer dropped. It's pretty good. I sent you a link to it. I wanted to get your initial feedback on what you think about this and how much you know about the character that is Moon Knight.
My knowledge of Moon Knight has been kind of like cobbled together from all the internet memes about him. The panel from the comic where he's like, "All right, Dracula, you big fucking nerd. Where's my money?" Like,
yeah.
And I know he's someone possessed by a lot of people. Some of them might be the moon spirit.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like Batman. I've heard him compared to Batman in that, like, you know, wealthy alter ego, potentially insane superhero identity.
Yeah. So Moon Knight himself is it's a pretty interesting concept that came out in I think it was in 1975 is when he appeared, and he actually appeared as a one-off character. He was only designed to come in and to kill one character, which was Werewolf by Night, and that was it. For some reason, the fan base for Moon Knight was so big that Marvel had to bring him back, and then they actually had to give him like a story and an idea. So the whole point of Moon Knight is there's this guy, Mark Spector, and Mark Spector is he's like a former Marine CIA operator, operator. He operates, whatever. Now he stumbles upon like an Egyptian curse, really, and it's this Egyptian god Khonshu, and Khonshu kind of gives him these powers that are really powered by the moon. So during the different cycles of the moon, his powers are lessened or more. So during a full moon, he is at maximum power, et cetera, et cetera.
All right.
Now, the thing is that he starts having personality splits. He has up to 5 characters if you count Moon Knight as a character, and it's almost like like Glass, where he can kind of go in and out of characters, except they don't know that they're doing it. So they all have different accents, they have different kind of personalities, and they don't really like each other, and they don't really understand why Moon Knight is a thing, and they keep blaming a different personality for the reason that Moon Knight is. Now, if you watch the trailer, the cool thing is the original trailer came out and it showed Moon Knight punching nothing, right? The original trailer had him nothing. But in this trailer, if you slow it down, look closely, it is Werewolf by Night. It is a furried creature, and he is demolishing that thing. So they also show a little bit of Khonshu. There's this quick shot of Khonshu opening up the elevator door and turning maybe into an old woman. I do like Oscar Isaac's performance so far. I like him dipping in and out of the accents while because that is it's hard to show personalities. And I think that in Glass, they did a good job because his body type was visibly different, and his wardrobe was different, and his cadence and his talking was different.
Oscar Isaac's not in Glass.
Well, I'm talking about like showing different personalities in the same actor.
Gotcha. Okay, yes.
So and I'm curious how Oscar Isaac's going to do it, because he does have a really nice British accent. He can obviously do an easy Brooklyn accent. So it's going to be very interesting to watch his acting style try to make sure that we know that the characters are different. And all the interviews that I've watched of him so far is that he's really paying attention to making sure the audience can decipher when each character is different. And there's actually a shot in the trailer where he changes characters while holding a gun, and the second character doesn't realize it. He doesn't know why he has a gun. So all that is, they're like, oh, fucking Moon Knight, why is he making us do this? And then they're also blaming this on a god, which actually isn't really a god, but it's another person, whatever. Now, I do love Ethan Hawke's appearance in this trailer too.
Looks like a cult leader. He looks like Kevin Bacon.
Right, and that's how they're going to portray it. So apparently, there's this whole thing about like the sun god, and you know, Ethan Hawke's character is what I think is going to happen, and they haven't said this yet, but I think that Khonshu is going to kind of possess Mark Spector, who has multiple personalities. So it's kind of hard to possess someone, and we've never even that's a weird concept that we've never talked about, like, you know, possession. If you have different personalities, like, does one personality be possessed while the other ones aren't, or is just the body itself? That's pretty interesting. But also I think that an evil demon is possessing Ethan Hawke, so it's like two gods battling through mortals, and I think that that's a very cool concept. I'm pretty interested in how they do that. So if you haven't seen the Moon Knight trailer, check it out. It's pretty interesting. It's very, very dark, and he's Batman because he is a nighttime detective based character that really just beats the shit out of people. Doesn't kill them, but will, you know, he doesn't really care. So like that, he's Batman just because he's ground based. He doesn't really have he doesn't really have any superpowers other than the power of the moon, whatever.
Yeah, sure, whatever that means.
It
looks good. Like the suit looks good. I like Oscar Isaac. Yeah, looks fun.
Yeah. No, I'm excited about it. I'm definitely going to check it out. I like what's happening right now.
I am curious what Marvel what Netflix might have done with Moon Knight had they kept doing their TV shows.
Yeah, I think that it would not be very different now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think what Disney does is they do research and they realize the things that worked in the Daredevil show or the Netflix shows. People love Daredevil, so you think Daredevil and the villain were the first two to make the leap over into the MCU. They also, they like the idea of that. They like how much people like the darkness of it. And I think that they're going to use that to make a show that was equivalent to what Netflix would do, but with the budget of a Disney product. So,
right, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And I'm interested. That the trailer looks dark, so I have a lot of high hopes. As far as Star Wars news, obviously Book of Boba Fett's going on right now. Now this is an interesting show. Are you caught up on the 3 episodes so far?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think about this show?
It has yet to justify its existence to me.
That's my thing. And everyone keeps saying, like, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't understand why it exists.
I don't know why they made it. Boba Fett's a cooler character with the less you know about him. The more you know about him, the more disappointing it is.
Well, not disappointing. It's just purposeless. It's like because we know what happens years after this event. So his impact doesn't really span great galactic issues. Now in this show,
I don't care about the scope. Like you can have a personal stakes thing about a bounty hunter, but the way they're writing Boba Fett right now is like he's never done this before. He's never interacted with it's like, wait a minute, I'm the crime boss. He's supposed to pay me. It's like, yeah, man, he's have some I don't know, savvy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now they're portraying him way more as a fish out of water than I would expect. And I'm waiting for them to reveal that he was actually in the Sarlacc for like a decade or something.
That would be cool. That'd be interesting. I don't think they can do that now with the timeline they put in. But I do I like the show. I like the fact that Robert Rodriguez, who is an action director superstar in my book. I mean, you watch Desperado, that movie is that is one of the most action-packed, beautiful things ever. But then you watch this and you're like, it's kind of a letdown in the action aspect. It's a very cool story, and I love anything set in Star Wars that isn't Skywalker and isn't lightsabers. Don't care about that.
It's still Tatooine.
It is aggressively Tatooine, and it's very Star Wars. I just don't know what we can get out of this. I don't know what the point is. Now we're obviously going to get him riding a Rancor at the end of the season, and I just don't see why. But whatever. Who cares? I'm still into it. On the DCEU side, now we have Peacemaker, which is the direct spinoff and I guess sequel series to the Suicide Squad, done by James Gunn. And I will say that I am loving this series a lot. I think that this series is doing all the right stuff that comic book shows should be doing, which is accepting how ridiculous it is, but also putting in real stakes. Now, comic book shows and movies are ridiculous in point. I mean, they are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
What this show is doing is it's highlighting James Gunn's amazing dialogue work. They're highlighting some really cool effects, and they're really sinking into how sad of a character can a non-hero be. Now, have you seen any of this?
I haven't watched it yet. No.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm excited to hear your point of view on this because 3 episodes came out. They dropped immediately. It's good. It's bingeable. The characters are great. I think it's got an awesome cast. Probably the most interesting opening. What do they call it? Opening sequences or whatever. Intros. One of the weirdest intros to anything I've ever seen. But yeah, I'm a mega fan and I'm in. So now, without further ado, because I'm the only one who cares about nerd news, really. We're going to get into what we do on the show, which is content creation. Now I'm going to let Dylan. I was going to say I'm going to dare Dylan, but that turned into something else. So I'm going to allow Delonius Primus, Delonius Primordial. That's not bad, actually. I like that. I'm going to write that down. Primordial. It's like an ooze, right? It's always an ooze.
Primordial, yeah.
Yeah, primordial. Primordial.
Something like that.
What is this, primordial or just primordial? Or one word?
Not pre.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like primordial.
Like primeval.
Medieval. Medieval. It doesn't matter. Okay, ooh. I'm gonna let hey, what? Look, that's the cool thing about going live is that you're just throwing baloney,
whatever you want,
and seeing what sticks. But yeah. So Dylan, tell us where we are in this project and what we want to get done with the rest of this episode.
Yeah. So real quick, let me pop this tab on there. So we are doing a project we call DEADBEAT. Spawned from a text message about a cop that gets possessed by a demon and all of the things that go badly about that. It was, of course, from with the episode of Scott Curtis of Behind the Bits podcast. Go check that out. He's a great interviewer. Mm-hmm. And what we've done to date is kind of figure out where what the story is in broad strokes, what goes where, who's who, figure out some character names and a general progression of the plot. Cool. Main character gets possessed by a demon in a tablet because museum's playing a song that uses words from the tablet. He fights crime, gets captured by a cult, realizes it's not all it's cracked up to be, tries to fight the demon off, gets saved by his girlfriend and an EMT who's actually an angel. His partner, who's actually a cultist, kind of has a redemption and dies, and then we end with him getting a promotion to detective, promising to take the cult down. Real brief. What I wanted to figure out today, and I think we can probably figure this out entirely today, is where this goes beat-wise. Okay. If you do any screenwriting, people might know what a beat sheet is. Beat sheet is a progression of generally accepted story beats, or not quite scenes, but moments in the story that deliver a pretty satisfying arc, proven time and time again. This particular beat sheet, a lot of them use different terminology. This one is adapted from Jeffrey Calhoun's book, Successful Screenwriter. I've made some edits just to put things in the places where they should be, so this is fully decked out. And what it comes out to is 9 beats. What he recommends is that each one gets 3 scenes. Each of those scenes should be about 3 pages. Come out with about 87 to a 90-page script. That's it. And I wanted today to go through the story we have and just scene, we did the Inciting Incident. Scene, we did the debate. Scene, plot point 1, see if we can get how far we can get.
All right, cool. Cool. So where do we need to, I guess, pick up or start?
So we start. The first incident of any screenplay is going to be the Inciting Incident. This is what gets your main character into the story. In this instance, by the 10th page, Craig, the beat cop, has become possessed by the demon. Mm-hmm. In these 3 scenes, we should also introduce the antagonist of the movie. Tie the antagonist to the character in some way, which seems pretty easy to me. We have a scene about the cultists, trying to find the tablet, or we have the leader of the megachurch be like, "Is it here?" Yes. Excellent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we need 3 scenes, or sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, that was pretty much what I was going to say.
I mean, I think those work. What you just said, right? We have those.
Okay. Yeah, so cool. So scene 1, do we start with the cultist or do we start with Craig at the docks?
I think that we start with a cultist. And I like the idea of maybe them doing something that makes sense, but also as an audience member, it would make sense that Craig as a beat cop would so that's what Craig's up to. You know what I mean? Like maybe we start with the cultists, but not really go into what they're really doing, but just their seedy behavior. Right?
Yeah. And we see a group of cultists going about their shady business, and in the distance, Craig and his partner. Do we name his partner? I was just using partner for a long time.
Yeah. Let's it needs to be like a real just cult name.
It needs to be a name that you don't really sympathize with.
Like a Pollock?
Sure.
I watched Face Off yesterday. I'm sorry.
That's Pollux. Yeah.
Pollock and Castor Troy.
Oh man, what a movie Face Off is.
Those are none of that movie makes any sense except the basic dialogue of like, hey, what if you just had someone else's face? I'm like, yeah, but wouldn't their wife know what their body looks like?
Right? or teeth or you know
anything. Like, yeah, how can their facial bone structure cannot support the same face?
I mean,
and at the end, he just steals a kid. Yeah,
he's
and remember
married.
At the end, and John Travolta.
Yeah, they just steal a kid.
They just steal a kid and go, "Here, wife.
I got us a new boy."
Yeah, remember our kid died? I got us a better one.
So, sidetrack onto Face Off.
Yeah.
Travolta's character is married to Joan Allen, right?
Correct.
The obvious way to identify your long-term married partner who you've had children with.
Yep.
Whip out your yeah.
But the thing is, they have sex, and why Joan Allen does not recognize that it is Nicolas Cage's body with John Travolta's face.
Yeah.
So weird. Everything about that's weird.
It's a weird movie.
You imagine just like touching somebody's face, like even if that's like your thing.
Yeah, he does
and
that
you can
weird
even imagine. It's like, that's so weird. Anyway, all right, off a face off. That's fine. We gotta face off a face off.
So the first scene of the movie is a group of cultists going about their shady business. In the distance, Craig and Pollux realize crime is going on.
Yeah. Now he's a beat cop, which means he's probably not supposed to be on like a stakeout or something. So how do we justify that? Does he walk by? Like, does he walk by like kind of and sees lights on at the where are they in the port?
They're on the docks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
are they driving by some? Oh, good.
Do beat cops have cars? You know what I mean? Like, do beat cops get patrol cars?
What if he's a horse? He's a horse cop. But you wouldn't have a partner in a horse cop.
Dead horse?
Like a bike cop. You can't beat one of those.
There are several types of police car. Patrol car, the car that replaces walking for the beat police officer. So I think we can justify them sitting in their car at the docks, just kind of like
but see, to me, if they're sitting somewhere, that would say a stakeout. A stakeout's not really beat cops, so they would need to be going somewhere. Maybe they're en route to like going to lunch at their graveyard shift or something. You know what I mean? And they happen to just drive by the docks and say like, that's a lot of flashlights over there.
Yeah,
we should get down there. And the partner who's like, no, we got to get to insert 80s fast food reference.
I don't
Hardee's?
Know. Sure.
Hardee's is.
I don't know.
Carl's
why not?
Juniors? Yeah, whatever.
Hardee's Juniors. But then Gage and give chase. There's a chase scene where the cultists lose the tablet crate. Pollux gets hurt. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's fine, yeah. Craig recovers the crate and gets possessed.
Hell yeah.
Pretty much. Third scene could be Craig calling EMT and reporting crime. Michael shows up and takes Pollux away. Craig packs up the crate and
now does Michael show up faster than people think he's supposed to?
Well, we can have a comment about, wow, that was fast. You're the fastest EMT on the squad.
It's like, would you fly here? Because like I guess what we're trying to do, or at least what I think we're trying to do, would also be subtle alluding to Michael being an angel, but also that Michael kind of knows what's going on and he is getting Pollux out of there faster.
Yeah, this is a test for Craig's character on a holy level. All right. Beat 2, the debate. We hem and haw over being called to action. The character tries to fight the change, and somewhere in these scenes we need to introduce the heart. The heart character.
Yeah.
The character that gives him an anchor and emotional weight. It's when he meets Trinity in a nightclub. It's when, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Now I'm liking the thing we talked about last week, which was main character learning that they have a power that gives them a little more a little more oomph to their job. And then I guess the next part, which would be the fight to change, would be him maybe talking to the demon, and then the demon being like, "Look, I'll possess whoever you want, but you need to give me violence," or what that scene we talked about, right?
I think that might
And
be in plot in part 3, in beat 3, the plot point 1.
because it
You know
seems
what I
like,
mean?
oh, okay, because
I
I think, oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go first.
Because I was thinking that if it is a hem and haw over a call to action, then that would be the main character making a decision to push the plot forward more. Now, if to me, if they have a power that, that they show them doing their job, maybe coming in early, whatever, the montage of doing the job, tougher, faster, stronger than normal, then maybe. Well, I think you're right though. I think this has to go to the second part because. We're going to need that one scene in the middle of those that has him going too far with his power, which would make him try to stop the possession, right? And that's when
I
he learns about the
Yeah.
demon and what demon wants. So yeah, I think you're right.
So I figured we introduce Shania, his girlfriend, when he calls into a radio show. It's late. She's in. He calls in pretending to be a stranger and is like flirting with the radio person. She realizes what's going on and she's like, she plays along with it. They're fun. They have fun together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You know
fun.
what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, and then one more scene in here. I think it's good. I think he stops a mugging, gets stabbed. We have that scene where he has a tear in his shirt and he's like, "Oh, must have just missed me.
Yeah.
I'm really lucky." And I do think you're right in that maybe there is something darker that goes on that makes him wonder like something's off.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know
don't
what
know.
that might be.
Yeah, I don't know
Hmm.
either. I think that we got to there needs to be that conversation between Pollux and Craig. Because Pollux wants that, he wants that ship back, right? And then we
Yeah.
haven't really got into that. So do you think that there should be a conversation between like Craig and Pollux about um what happened to that stuff? You know what I mean? Like, because if so, the way that we wrote it so far was Craig takes the evidence because of the song,
Hmm.
gets possessed,
Yeah.
and then he takes the evidence, he still takes it to the police station, right?
Yeah.
And then I
Hmm.
guess in the background we have Pollux and the cultists that break into the police station, steal the rock, realize that the rock, it has nothing in it, right?
Yeah, that'll happen in 3 as well when
Okay.
we introduce the supporting character of his partner. Or at
Okay.
least we can introduce his partner in this sixth in scene number 6.
Well, I thought
But
we already introduced the partner at the beginning.
not the partner, sorry, the mentor character who's also part of
Oh,
the cult. My mistake.
right.
But I agree that he and Pollux need to have a talk about it, and maybe he's like, something
So
weird. Why are you pushing on this, buddy? It's like, oh, no
yeah,
big deal. Just wanna make sure you're okay.
or maybe I don't know how to show this, but maybe there's like a scene where Craig is doing the normal job and he thinks like Pollux is like kind of just staying behind for some reason. But from Pollux's point of view, there's like a little bit of like a red glow off of Craig, like he's
Okay.
doing way too much. And Pollux is like, what's up with, maybe
Yeah.
we have more of like Pollux realizing what's going on. And having to swerve and negotiate that conversation.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like that as like once the plot gets in and we see him back on his normal day shift, Pollux is like, "Wow, you're really like super cop today, aren't you? You're really going for that promotion." And then, yeah,
Yeah, and Craig's like, "What are you talking about? Like, this is some
yeah,
normal stuff. You're just lagging behind all day." And he's
yeah,
like,
mm,
"You're moving very fast.
yeah.
You're doing some crazy stuff." Okay, so
I think
no,
that's so we're in plot point. We're in sequence 3 pretty much. Like this is kind of why the beat sheet exists because we're moving very naturally throughout these without
yeah.
really kind of stopping to differentiate them. But the plot point 1 is the really true beginning of the story. It's a moment of conflict pushing into Act 2. So this would
Now,
be Craig being a super cop,
now,
Pollux.
oh, go ahead.
We see Pollux and the mentor character steal the tablet and take it to the cult, and the cult realizes, wait a minute, maybe the demon's not in the tablet anymore.
Yeah. So I also kind of like an idea or a scene where Pollux tries to just overtake Craig. Once Pollux, I don't know where that would fit in, but once Pollux realizes that, oh, he is possessed, maybe Pollux like goes to try to like stab him or incapacitate him somehow, you know, and that really sets the demon off, because this is the first time that he's been like really attacked maliciously.
Yeah, that can go in the midpoint, which is the death and rebirth.
Because I feel like we need that, whatever that scene is that sparks the interaction between Craig and the demon.
Yeah.
And I feel like that seems like it's an act or a part 3 thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The betrayal by the partner to the main character's kind of like knowledge.
All right. So now Pollux notices Craig is a super cop and there's like a red glow or whatever. I like that. But in those 3, we have to get to a point where I think Craig uses his power too much, right?
Okay.
He goes overboard.
Okay.
And he has to at some point he's got to try to get this demon out of him. Maybe
that's
he
later.
just try. Well, I don't know if that's later.
Okay.
I'm not saying a successful exorcism, but like an idea of like something's up with me. I need to figure this out. So I almost like the idea of maybe Craig going to a normal church and just asking for an exorcism. Like, I need an exorcism. I think I'm possessed by something. And they're like, what? What?
We don't really do that.
We don't do that. And if
we're,
they
look, we're a Presbyterian church. We don't really do exorcisms.
Yeah. Like, it's like, well, you have to. There's something inside of me. I don't know what that scene is, but I like the scene of maybe a very stupid, lackluster exorcism, which makes the demon kind of present himself to Craig and be like, what are you doing? You can't just get rid of me like this. Like, look, if you want me to leave, I'll leave. But just so you know, I have to possess somebody, and I need. Right? You know, you think that's a later scene?
I think that's almost immediately after this. I think that's sequence 4, the pinch, which focuses on the central conflict, which is Craig's possession, and it ushers the story forward. The demon reveals himself to Craig. Craig tries to get it out. The demon's like, no. You might not want me to go in somewhere else, so I'm going to hang out in here if you're cool with it.
Okay, so then what would be the third part of number 3 then?
Well, we've got Pollux notices Craig's a super cop. Something's fishy. Then we need the scene where Pollux and Mentor get the tablet from the evidence room and then take it to the cult.
Okay.
And
them knowing immediately that there's no demon in this.
Yeah. Then they realize the demon isn't in there. Who else messed with the tablet? Only Craig.
Only Craig.
Pretty much. I mean, it could have been any of the other cops in the precinct, but they're not characters in the movie, so they don't really exist beyond just vague background characters.
So then from then we cut to Craig doing menial tasks with way too much power, right? Like trying to write a report and just crushing his desk and, you know, everything. So I like him having he has too much power, doesn't really know what to do with it now. He's also trying to hide it. So people are like trying to shake his hand. He's like, "No, I don't want to. I don't want to crush you." And I think that might lead him down to the stupid church, right? And it's like, what do I do?
Yeah, Craig exhibits demon possession symptoms, crushes his desk, has no trouble working out, indulges his vices, or is tempted by his vices.
Yeah. And then maybe he has like a friend who's like, you know, into incense or whatever, or tarot cards. And they go, "Hey, I did a reading for you last night and something's going on.
I pulled the 3 of demons. That's not even a tarot card. I don't know where I got it."
And every card I pulled after that was the 3 of demons.
Yeah.
Let's see. One Swisha says Craig goes in a pandemonium and meets Osama bin Laden would be an insane twist. That
would be an insane twist.
Especially since this is set in the 80s. So Osama bin Laden would be like a teenager,
Osama bin Laden would be working with Ronald Reagan in the Contra scandal.
Oh, you're right. Okay, we could mark that down because that is going to be a weird plot twist later on, which I do like. Thank you, One Swisher.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think that's really funny. All right, so once he
oh yeah, this is Contras. Anyway,
yeah. All right, so once he shows these powers, yeah, I think there's gonna be because he's naturally, if you have these powers, you're gonna want to get rid of them or understand them, right? So you're gonna seek out knowledge.
Let's have so we have Shania's friend who is super Catholic. She's the one who eventually gets crushed by the crucifix. What if she's like, "Hey, are you okay? You want to come to church?" He runs into her and he's like, "No, I'll deal with this myself."
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Smash cut to a church.
Yeah, or her saying like, "Oof, Craig needs to talk to somebody," like talking to somebody else and be like, "I've been sensing terrible things off of him." And then I guess smash.
What is it when you emotionally invest yourself in someone by like you not confess, but you talk to someone, confide.
Confide.
He confides in Shania.
Yeah.
She brings up church with Carolyn, I think was her name.
Like maybe she's like, you know what you need? You just need God. And he's like, well.
And they both scoff.
Maybe I do.
But maybe Craig does. Craig.
Lightning crashes outside midday for some reason.
Yeah, right.
All right. So,
but we need. I think Craig seeks out mystical help, and it doesn't do anything. Maybe he's just going nuts.
Now that could be a really funny.
The demon reveals itself to him.
Now that could be a funny scene where we kind of make fun of 80s tropes as well, where like Craig maybe goes to people like, "Hey, do you know any mystical minorities?" And people are like, "What?" And he's like, "Every movie I've seen, there's always like, like someone gutting a chicken or killing a goat or something like." And there, do you know
the woman from Poltergeist?
Not Carol Ann, but
Zelda Rubinstein.
Oh yeah.
Get Zelda Rubinstein on the phone. She's big right now.
Yeah. Every Stephen King novel that I've read so far in this decade has led me to think that there's a mystical minority somewhere. And they're like, look, just go to fucking church, Craig.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I like it.
Whatever.
No, I like it. Pretty much that scene.
Okay.
And then I think what's that?
I said I'm glad we're recording this. No, go ahead.
I missed something. I don't know.
That's fine.
And then we can either throw another scene in here because we're not strictly stuck to just like 3 scenes per beat about him kind of like starting to embrace it, or like he has his first, like Craig has his first true like demon vigilante action.
Yeah, like maybe he goes on like
very well.
Maybe like the next scene is like maybe a montage of him just on his normal beat. And I had this idea of maybe him coming across like a dog fighting scenario and him getting in there like, let me fight him. It's like or just him coming across like the most like maybe an underground fight club and and they're like, hey, look, we paid the cops, like you can't do anything to us.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, I'm not here to bust you. I'm here to win this belt or trophy or whatever.
Oh.
All right.
I like the idea of him picking up 2 angry dogs by the collars and just holding them really high up.
Yeah. It's like,
and somehow his eyes glow red and they calm down or something.
Okay, yeah, because I obviously don't want him fighting a dog, so I like that better. Where he just walks into the dog ring with dogs like going at it, and he just picks them both up, and he's like, "You all know this is illegal."
Yeah,
and then leaves with dogs.
Carjackings, all the while avoiding Pollux' notice.
Yeah. Now does
he thinks?
Now does he also start getting like psychic-y demon powers, like he can tell when violence is going on? I
think so. He can sense it.
Yeah. All right, so what are we getting to next?
I'm going back and retroactively adding a line where Pollux says he'll keep an eye on Craig while the cultists work out a ritual. because Pollux is conflicted about turning Craig over to the cult. There, secondary character conflict, so that Pollux feels like he's not such a piece of shit.
Love it.
All right, and now we have and then as he's fighting crime, all the while avoiding Pollux's notice, or so he thinks, but Pollux notices and alerts the cult. Cool.
Yeah, I'm into that.
We are in Death and Rebirth. This is the midpoint. This is in the character has their first significant moment that forces a literal or figurative death onto the main character. It includes the heart, which is a crescendo related to the death and then the rebirth, and the antagonist. We learn the antagonist's true motivations. They get the upper hand and they get development, which we have done because this is when Craig and Shania go on a date night. Craig and Shania go on a date night, and we'll learn all about their positive relationship despite how little time they get to be around each other. It's nice and cozy. Next scene. Craig and Shania come home. Craig senses impending violence with demon powers. Good call. And we get the reverse home invasion action scene of Demon Hulk Craig versus cultists. And then is the moment where Pollux betrays Craig.
Yep.
Pollux shows up and Shania thinks he's there to help. He KOs her. Well, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Craig thinks he's there to help, but Demon senses the betrayal like Judas. You know, we'll hit some of that stuff. Demon senses the betrayal. Pollux uses some supernatural whackery to subdue Craig.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, and then we black out. Or no, Craig gets away, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Pollux tries to subdue Craig, but Demon Craig escapes into the night. All right.
Yeah.
Now we have the second pinch. This is where the circumstances have narrowed down on the character. It focuses on the central conflict. It mirrors the rest of the previous pinch. So it mirrors Craig revealing symptoms of the demonic possession, trying to get it figured out and having it go badly this time. So this is when and we introduce supporting character 2, which is Carolyn.
So this is when he has that conversation with the beast, with the demon then.
Yes. Craig talks to the demon and learns he's kind of stuck with it, except he knows a hardcore Catholic girl.
Yeah.
Craig goes to Carolyn and convinces her to take him to a church for an exorcism. And then the exorcism goes badly. The priest is killed, Carolyn is killed, and Craig, demon controlled, runs off into the night once more.
Yeah, I think that scene is going to be really cool looking.
Yeah.
I would like there to be maybe to show Craig like the power of the demon. Maybe the demon just possesses like everybody in the room and just kills them, you know? And he's like, this is what I can do. I don't know why he would want to hang out with Craig so much, but I think it's probably like a lie or something.
The demon likes weak souls, and then that is Craig's motivation to be a stronger person.
Yeah, all right, cool. Love that.
Everybody in the church and is responsible for
like he possesses like, say he possesses like Carolyn, and then Carolyn just goes over and just like stabs the priest or the preacher or whatever. And as he is, fading, he gets possessed and he's, does something back.
And then a bolt of lightning comes through the ceiling and strikes the cross at the front and just falls on everybody.
And it turns out that bolt of lightning was possessed also, and it's demonic lightning. All right, so
cool. So we got plot point 2.
Mm-hmm.
This is the point of no return for the character. They have a new weapon, they have a new strength, they have a new knowledge, and they go to the heart character for strength. And in this situation, we can justify the heart character being Michael the EMT. Who else has helped Craig? Michael. Yeah. Craig goes to his only remaining friend, Michael, and gets some words of wisdom concerning the problem of everybody around him dying since he got possessed. And then this should lead into Act 3. So I think this is when he wrestles the demon by the river for control of his body.
Yeah. I like maybe the demon having the power of being able to possess anyone who's in like the area. So Craig tries to like stay away from people, which is maybe how they end up at like the waterfront or whatever. Yeah, I think that's kind of interesting. Because like, say you're going in, you're possessed by a demon, and you're trying to do good, and you go into a bad situation, and just being close can have that demon possess anybody else in that place, and now you have to like fight the demon that is it. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool.
And then at the end, and then finally to get to the cult, Craig finds Alex, and how. So the final, because the cult is going to try their own exorcism on him.
Yeah.
Does the cult call him? Or get in contact with him somehow?
Yeah, I guess they just maybe just like start blowing stuff up or something. Like making a cop come down there. All right, one switcher says major plot twist: Craig eats Taco Bell and eventually shits the demon out, and they play a chess game that decides his fate. I like that.
We'll file that away as a potential idea.
Yeah, look, after watching Dreamcatcher, I'm always cool with anybody shitting a demon out.
Yeah,
I'm all about that. And I even like the idea of like demons just sitting down and play chess and be like, I could just murder you, but I'd rather eat you. I think it's funny. All right, so
the cult causes enough mayhem that Craig follows their trail to the cult's HQ. They hint maybe that they have Shania hostage.
Yeah. Cool.
Part 3, Resurrection. Using tools from plot point 2, the character chooses to undergo a second death and rebirth.
Okay.
So this is when Craig raids the cult HQ in demon form, but he's got what is it when you have like mastery over something?
Mastery.
Like style.
What? When you have mastery of style?
Like someone who's like a virtuoso on guitar. You would say that they have
prodigy. They have a gift. They have the right stuff, baby. They have.
He's got the right stuff, baby, and he's more in control of his demon powers.
So what? Okay, what do you think about this scene? If maybe because the cultists know about the demon and what the demon is, they've actually found a way to, like kidnap the demon, like capture the demon, right?
Yeah.
And Craig slips out, and now he has no powers, but he has to go back in there and save the demon because, goddamn it, they're friends now.
Because Craig is a position of relatively little power, and a demon in the body of a megachurch pastor is going to cause far more trouble. I like it. He's more in control of his demon powers, but unfortunately, the cult came prepared with some way to pull the demon from his body.
Yeah,
Craig gets away, but
it's honestly it's
captured.
Gonna be something with like runes and like ground up bones. Some kind of smoke of things that are bound together. Yeah, that kind of stuff. And he was like, oh shit. Oh shit. No. Wait, you guys have all this stuff.
They were ready for us. Yeah,
Damn
that
it,
sort of thing.
Craig.
Damn it, Craig. I just think of the South Park episode of the guinea pigs where Craig is the prophesied one. It's like, curse you, Craig. And
I love that.
All the giant guinea pigs. The demons capture Prime for possession, but Craig hides like a little baby boy.
Yeah, he's a little baby boy.
Craig,
little baby cat boy.
Now non-possessed.
Yeah.
But in possession of the power of confidence and self-worth.
Yeah.
Uses his training and human skills to overcome the cult.
Yeah. He uses all 5 of his normal human skills along with basic cop training and with the knowledge of action movies.
Yeah. And pulls the demon back into his body.
Yeah.
Craig frees Shania, and they we'll add that to the end of the last scene just because he frees Shania and the cultists flee or are defeated.
They just explode.
Yeah, like scanners.
Yeah, just straight up pop.
Brother Jeremiah escapes. Shania and Craig work out that the possession was caused by the Nightshade table recording and realize his wounds will reopen if he's not treated by someone who knows how to treat wounds.
Yeah. Like a doctor or a demon.
Or a demon-tee.
Or a veterinarian.
There we go.
Yeah.
And then the last one, the return. The character returns to people with their gifts. The ultimate conclusion reflecting change from the heart character is done. Supporting character recognizes it might implement change, and then the antagonist suffers their ultimate defeat. So I think we add in at towards the end, we move the antagonist thing a little bit up and the supporting character thing up, where Pollux sacrifices himself to help Craig in redemption.
All right. And then, so what, do we end with Craig just having this demon in him?
No, we end with Craig with the help of Shania
by
and Michael.
Zeta comes down. And,
Xenu.
Xenu,
Careful. They'll copyright strike us.
They will?
Yeah.
I'll fight them. You can't say Xenu? Right.
I mean, yeah. You
can't say the Z word?
X, but yeah. Craig, with the help of Shania and Michael, gets exercised. When it looks like he might die due to his accumulated injuries, he is saved by Michael. Craig wakes up in the hospital. The tablet has been returned to the museum. The cultists have been reduced in power, and Michael winks. And then final scene, Craig got his promotion to detective.
Yep.
He's going to bring down Brother Jeremiah using human wit and ingenuity. And then Stinger.
Shania is possessed.
At the museum, janitor walks past the tablet with Nightshade
playing on his Sony Walkman.
Playing on his Sunny Run Boy.
Sunny Sprint Fella.
The runes glow red and we smash to credits. And those are the scenes that make up Deadbeat. Now all we have to do is write a 95-page screenplay.
Which should be no problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's
it. That's the show. We've
completed another project. This is episode 42 of Twitching UpStream. You can see all of these episodes over at YouTube on our channel, Some Nobodies. Now, we also have 42 episodes of Talking UpStream. So this is that cool thing where it's like, we did it. We have roughly, I guess, 2 seasons technically of this show now. But yeah,
one of them wholly independent.
80. Tune into your Some Nobodies NFT soon, brought to you by pod.tv. So if you want to see what we do, check us out over there. We have 42 episodes of us interviewing people and talking about stuff. We now have 42 episodes of us developing more of these stories, which is cool. There's a couple episodes of Dylan teaching people how to write rightly, which he hates that name, but we're going to change it once he thinks of something better. Yeah. You can also see all the weird stuff that we do. But most importantly, just thank you for paying attention to us. We love talking. I like talking. Dylan likes shaking his head at things that I probably shouldn't have said, I guess, whatever. But either way, we love making up content. We like coming up with cool stories, and we like talking to you. We like dealing with things that you folks are interested in. So number one, thank you to one Swisha, right? Swish A.
Seems like an appropriate amount. Swish A. I think you had it right.
Yeah, one Swish A for some awesome comments. Thank you to Scott Curtis for helping us come up with this story. You could check out that show if you want to in the show notes below. Thank you to some cool people like Michael Colby. He's got some awesome stuff going on, so go check all his stuff out. Yeah, we have a new show coming out soon. Well, I guess we have a new season of another show coming out soon.
Yeah.
No Time to Binge. We're working on that. That'll be a cool thing where we just watch the first and last episodes of a season of a show and then just kind of make up what happens in the middle. Yeah. But we have so much stuff out there, so check us out. Dylan, do you have any words of wisdom before we head out?
Writing is just a matter of putting words down. That blank page is intimidating, but just keep doing it. Your first draft is going to suck.
He's right. Yeah. Right. You're probably going to hate it, but trust me, later on, you're going to be glad that you wrote it down. But until next time, folks, you can find him at Vorpal Words everywhere. You can find us at Some Nobodies. I have been Zach. He has been Dylan.
Almost.
And you've been great. Have a great day. Drink some water.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.